No.
These global markets play out.
No, I want to.
The government can act yesterday or today or tomorrow. It has acted today. Let's be happy with that action.
Now
You're wrong on the issue of what interest rates the RBI has played
can I
with.
make a quick remark
RBI
here?
has basically just focused on that specific interest rate that is about overnight borrowings by particular banks. It has nothing to do with the rate
Sir, I want to understand your thinking.
Okay?
Sir, I want to understand your thinking, Mr. Gowda. You are saying
with the rate that messes around with, with the rupee speculation.
Sir,
let's not create unnecessary panic over something which is different from what is actually being done.
Sir, you're accusing us of creating panic. Sir, you are accusing us of creating panic. People are losing jobs.
You're talking about the RBI
people are losing jobs. People are losing jobs. Investors are leaving the country. Your EMIs have become more expensive. Your food price inflation has gone through the roof. How can you talk about creating panic, sir? In most Indian households today, there would be a sense of panic about what your government is doing. Ravi Shankar Prasad is rebutting you at this time. 23 minutes past 9. Mr. Prasad's rebut to the Congress party. He has heard you for some time.
First of all, under Congress regime, everything is going high, everything is going down, except inflation and fiscal deficit, current and both. Whether you talk of employment, you talk of price rise, you talk of export-import, you talk of manufacturing, everything. Or now this whole dependence on foreign money, when only 9 months is left of their government. Foreign money is hot money, it's fragile, it comes and goes. But you flagged a very important issue. Why Indians are not investing in India? Huge Indian money is not being invested in India because they don't trust this government. They don't trust there is any policy stability. They are scary of their extraneous and corruption records. Therefore, Indians today are not investing in India. That is very important. They need to understand. The savings are down. The Indian investment is down. These are serious issues which provide stability to economy, for which there is no answer. Second, I take on with Chidambaram on a more fundamental issue, which he said in his press conference today, that we pander to equity more than growth. I'm sorry, Arnav, it is utter nonsense. And I say with full sense of responsibility. The same Mr. Chidambaram was tom-tomming 8% plus growth rate, which is the legacy of the stable fiscal regime we left under the NDA. Now when the chips are down, you are talking about that. A good equity cannot come unless there is good growth. And the good growth is not coming because of lack of credibility, lack of trust, gross mismanagement, corruption and policy paralysis, you rightly pointed out. And these fundamental issues are not being addressed. I'm asking a question to you. How is it that vegetable prices are soaring?
Absolutely.
People react to it, including middle class.
Absolutely.
They are saying creating panic.
Absolutely.
And my last
That's an accusation. Yes.
2009, Dr. Manmohan Singh publicly said, 100 दिन में हम कीमतें कम करेंगे. Sonia Gandhi also said, 100 दिन is now more than 4 years. What happened? Come on, you cannot take the people for granted. Unemployment is down. Unemployment is down. People are scared all over the country.
Lord Desai,
there's no response to all this.
I'm getting back. Mr. Bhargav, you're listening to the debate. It's tilting very strongly against the government, I feel, at this stage of the debate. I'll coming back to you, but I'd like to go to Meghnath Desai. I think you want to intervene just after Meghnath Desai, Mr. Bhargav. The question is simply this, and it may sound very simplistic, but it's a very basic question. This government works within 24 hours to clear the basis for the Jet Etihad deal. In the last week of April, the prices of vegetables have been going up and skyrocketing between 2005 and 2013. Investors have been fleeing the country. Critical decisions have not been taken. Meetings have been postponed. The bureaucracy has been stonewalling and been allowed to stonewall. But when it wants, this government sits together and clears the India-UAE aviation deal that might potentially benefit one company. And the question will be asked that when it comes to doing that kind of a deal, Mr. Gowda, or pushing the food security bill, you will push that through an ordinance and this through quick action. But you don't seem to be caring about the people of this country, Mr. Gowda. That is the question that is really being asked to you tonight. I think you'll have to answer firmly on that one. Lord Meghnath Desai, your turn. You've heard the Congress representative.
Well, so one problem with the deficit is that in the budget, Chidambaram did not allow for food security bill. He had made no budgetary provision for that. If the food security ordinance is passed and implemented, the deficit outcome will be much worse than the budgeted deficit. That is absolutely clear. Secondly, the current account deficit is bad because of capital outflow. Indians are going abroad, they're sending money abroad, and therefore, in increasing the interest rates to stop the falling of the rupee, I think the situation is going to be made much worse.
No, is the government getting it wrong? Lord Desai, could you stick your neck out tonight like you do so well? Is the government getting it wrong? Do you buy the argument that the government's only the victim of global factors? What is your sense? What's your rebut to the Congress representative?
No, the government is not. Government has chosen to go for food security, spend money, hopefully have an early election, so that the deficit outcome will not be clear till after the election. If the government wins the election, they'll handle the budget deficit.
But that's a very irresponsible way of looking at the economy, isn't it?
The problem, whoever wins. So it is. Yeah. But this is the politics of the situation is food security is the one weapon the government has decided. Forget inflation, forget deficit, forget current account deficit, forget rupee. Go for food security, and that is going to be the great panacea. I think that is a mistake.
Well, there you are, Rajiv Gowda. People are seeing through the government strategy. And I don't think, Mr. Bhargav, do you think today, Mr. Gowda, do you think, Mr. Bhargav, that 8 months before a general election, investors are going to start lining up and say, you know what, this government didn't do anything for this long, but it's 8 months to the election, they've done a little bit on FDI, let's go back and start investing in India. Are they going to look at it that way, Mr. Bhargav?
No, the investment decisions are not taken that way. But as I said earlier, Arnab, people are not investing the way they should invest in India because it's so hard to do business in India, to set up any business.
Exactly.
The 132 position in the global ranking is something we shouldn't just overlook. And it's not, as I said, happened. I don't see very much happening if we continue with the game of blaming each other in finding solutions to what is obviously a problem of the economy. What's happening now is a serious problem. It needs some serious concrete solutions to be worked out. The past growth of the economy which happened and for which we felt very happy when we had a 9% growth, was driven essentially by the services sector. A sector which is now today almost 60% of the economy, was growing in double digits at that time, and that led to this high growth period. The manufacturing sector now is the only thing left for us because services sector cannot maintain that high rate of growth. And unless we fix the services sector, bring down the costs of manufacturing, stop the manufacturing sector from subsidizing other segments of the economy, which seems to be the practice.
9 years.
In most states.
9 years is not long enough, Mr. Bhargav, for... No, I understand your point, but I'm asking today a more clear issue of governance. The UPA, Mr. Gowda, you can disagree with me as much as you like. If for 9 years you haven't understood, your industrial growth is down to almost zero. Your manufacturing sector is not going anywhere. Your agricultural sector has plateaued. How much will you keep straining the services sector? And 9 years is not long enough for you to understand that, Mr. Gowda?
What have been the growth rates? May I? What have been the growth rates of India over the last 9 years? They've been spectacular.
How much will you hide behind the growth rate of the last 9 years?
Global recession. We had 8-9% growth rates in the early days of the UPA. Okay, so that is now.
I am talking about here and now, sir. I am talking about here and now, and I don't think the people of this country. I am talking about the rupee slide.
9 years, boss. I'm not coming up with 9 years. I'm talking about 9 years.
I'm talking about here and now.
9 years have been good. Okay, it's only in the last 2-3 years that we have seen a recession. Yes, here and now we are as much tied into global flows. Now there is a green light out there as well. If America is strengthening, right, that is not something for us to feel panicked about. It is something that means that here is a market
Mr.
that
Gowda,
is a very good trading partner.
Mr. Gowda, let's be real. Let's be real. 1 second. What's global factors?
Hold on, Arnab.
Hold on, Mr. Gowda.
Hold on here. Hold on and let me finish.
Mr. Gowda.
Come on, when are you going to give me that sentence? Yeah, time to put a sentence in.
Well, finish your sentence, but you're not coming to the point.
It's your turn. Go ahead.
No, my question to you is, Mr. Gowda, you tell me tonight and tell all the viewers of Newshour a simple question. No, simple question to you. Did anyone in the world tell the government not to address the falling rupee earlier? Is that global factors that the government did not nudge the RBI to address the falling rupee earlier before the situation came to such a pass? Is it global factors that there was not an earlier intervention that could have stopped the decline? Did global factors stop your government from that? Tell me.
What are you reading in the decline? The decline of the rupee.
Delayed action, Mr. Gowda.
Market prices between American dollar and Indian rupee. It is not a reflection on the inherent strength and capabilities of the Indian market. Those continue to be good. Now, the other points that you were raising, there's an inherent contradiction in what you say, Arnab. If the government acts decisively, you say, oh, they cleared it overnight.
Please,
if they make
let's not
today,
be so.
You say they should have done it 5 years ago. Why are you having a problem with decisive action?
Sir, please, I don't think,
and it doesn't have to be with 9 months and an election in mind. If we open up the market for a good FDI with long-term interest to come in, it is in the interest of the nation, it is good for the government.
I take the response.
It is good for future governments that may get elected.
Fine.
It is not a short-term election-oriented measure.
1 second.
It is one of the best measures you can have to strengthen the economy.
Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad is responding to you. You didn't answer my question on whether anyone in the world told you, whether Barack Obama or the IMF told you not to respond earlier as far as the falling rupee is concerned, and whether the world told you also not to do enough to boost investor confidence in the past, or whether your own policy paralysis led you to that. But I'm not taking a position. Ravi Shankar Prasad is responding. Mr. Prasad, your response to Rajiv Gowda, who says everything is only due to global factors.
No. First of all, if everything is linked to global factor, then wind up the finance ministry or no? What is the need for that? A huge country like India, you have got inputs as to how the entire economy is being grossly mismanaged. There is corruption. There is lack of stability in the policy regime. There is policy paralysis. There is lack of coordination among ministers and the Prime Minister. Do we need to highlight that? We have discussed ad nauseum about that. But your falling rupee part, or no, I would like to highlight something different. Why is the Congress representative taking the tumbling rupee so casually? It has enormous cascading effect on the very worth of India, the worth of India's economy, import, export, everything. The inflation index is going to shoot up again, coupled with the sudden rise again in petroleum prices. Therefore, the casual way they have handled it as if it was not a problem at all, let the market take care of itself, I'm sorry to say, was the typical ostrich-like mentality. And the way they have sought to manage the entire economy. Now, earlier everything was, now this is going from 2008. American situation has improved after the subprime crisis. Now, why it has not impacted you? And let me tell you why the real reason is. The real reason is they have got no answer as to why they have grossly mismanaged the economy. Policy paralysis, corruption, lack of decision. Mr. Bhargav, read in between the lines. It has become very difficult to do business in India. Those are telling eloquent words. And above all, Indians not investing in India, because I'm sorry to say, even Indian entrepreneurs are not trusting this government. Well, these are important issues which they need to address, which they are not addressing at all.
Well, precisely, I can quote 1,000 global statistics, by the way, Mr. Rajiv Gowda, to counter your thing that everything is happening as per world levels. If I were to quote some figures to you, they would really shock you on where we were 9 years back and where we are now. I'm going to come to that in a minute. Prasenjit Bose and Lord Desai, your response to the Congress representative. Prasenjit first.
Yeah, Arnab, first of all, I think that let us not turn this only into a Congress bashing exercise, because I think that the fact is that the global situation is actually bad. So let us first recognize that to have a sober debate. The point, we should judge the government in terms of what it should have done, it could have done, it has not done, or whether it is doing something that is wrong. I think that is, let us have an objective debate and let us not spread it into so many things like food security.
I only find it very interesting. I find it very interesting, Prasenjit Bose, that Prasenjit Bose, who was recently with the CPM, is coming to the Congress party's defense. And there has been a lot of talk of the left and Congress coming together.
Hear me out.
No, it's just an observation.
Hear me out.
It's just an observation. Go ahead.
It is becoming. That is reason. The reason is that I think that one should have it in proper perspective. Mr. Prasad is making so many criticisms about the Congress party, but I don't know what is the policy perspective, alternative policies that he has to offer to take the economy out of the situation.
Right.
He's talking about corruption. We saw what happened in Karnataka.